Today I'm going to show you how to take ordinary synth presets and make them better. Most of the presets that come in these factory packs are obviously meant to sound good by themselves, but with a few tweaks, you can make them fit into your productions better. And if you're not good at synthesis, this is a must. So stay tuned if you're curious. Hello everyone, and welcome to Distinct Mastering. My name is Freddie. I'm a mastering engineer, producer, DJ, and president of Sleeping Giant Music. For over 2 decades, I've helped artists grow their careers, and now I'm here to help you with your music production skills. If you like my content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and the bell notification will keep you up to date. Now let's chat about how to make your synth presets sound better in your mixes. Hey guys, alright, I'm going to show you some tricks to make your synth presets sound better. Out of the box, if you use these presets, they're designed to sound good by themselves, and you might find a perfect preset, but if you alter it a little bit, it may fit better in your track. And one thing to note before I get started, if you're not good at synthesis, this will probably really help you out. But even if you are good at synthesis, it's good to know some of these tricks because, like I said, if you simplify the sound a little bit, it might fit better in your track, or if you just change a few parameters like the shape or various things. Okay, so let's get into it. The first synth I have here is Diva by Yuhi, and I've got just one of their standard presets loaded, and I'll go ahead and play this for you. And as you can see, it's a cool little lead, kind of pad-like. It's got a long tail. So that's one of my first tips to give you, is to make sure your sounds are shaped to fit with what you're doing. So if I like this tone, but the shape is too long, I can just change the release. And now I have just a straight up, it's just cutting off the sound. So just cutting off the release just like that just instantly changed the sound. You could also play with the decay time. And now I have more of a plucky, more pluck type sound. So that's my first tip. Make sure the shape is fitting with your track. Maybe you need to kill some of the attack. Let's move the attack up. Now we've got the little swell in. And that might help. Maybe you've got the notes all hitting at the same spot. Maybe you've got your kick drum and your bass hitting on the first measure and you want to swell that in. That's one way to do it without sidechain, for example. And if you want to learn some sidechain tricks, I have a video. I'll leave you a link up above. So that's my first tip. The second tip that I have is you want to check the filter. So check the cutoff. Look how low the cutoff is here. See, that's affecting this envelope too. So I just got a cool sound just by moving the resonance up. And that just altered the sound completely. Just with a few moves with these presets, you can really get something radically different. The third thing that I would recommend is to check the oscillator pitch. Now I just made it lower. Obviously I could play it lower on the keyboard, but you might really alter the sound this way. Maybe you take one high. And now I've got a totally different sound, something a little more futuristic, maybe Moog-like. This is kind of, the Diva kind of was very similar to a Moog. And these are just some basic moves on synths to change up the sound or make it fit better. So that's the first synth I'm going to show you. Let's move on to this next one. This next one is Nexus, and I don't use this very much, but it does have some good sounds. And if you're a beginner and you don't know a lot about synthesis, this is a good synth for you to use. It's really not a synth. It's called a rompler, and it just has a bunch of preloaded samples in it. And you don't have a ton of control over the sounds. You just have a filter mod, you have a delay, you have your standard filter, you have your amp mod, and you have your reverb. There's a little bit more behind the hood, under the hood here if you go in here, but I'm not going to get into depth about Nexus. That's not what this video is about. I've got a preset loaded up. Let's play this one. And as you can hear, it has that long tail, but that tail is not the release. This time it's reverb and delay. So another tip of mine is to make sure that you play with the effects. Just by turning them off can clean up the sound. And that can help it cut through the mix better. You know, these effects, turning it off may not be the answer. Maybe you just need to tone it down. Let's take this mix down. Maybe you like it with the effects. Maybe you just want to turn it down a little bit. So that's my next tip, is to check the effects section and make sure the effects are not muddying up your mix, because if you have too many reverbs going on, or it's just not sitting right, or the tail's too long and it's meshing with other things, it could just mask other sounds and make things a little messy, and that's not what we want when we're mixing. So that's my next tip. Moving on to this Omnisphere preset that I loaded for you. So here's this preset. It's from the Moog Tribute Library, and what I wanted to show you here is layers. So the beautiful thing about Omnisphere is it has 4 layers down here, and you might want to play with these volumes or turning them on and off, because what can happen is you might find a sound that you don't like, or maybe you like something about this sound, but there's one thing that's bothering you, and it could just be one of the layers. So let's turn this one off. Now I get this, I just have the zippery sound by itself. If I turn that off, I just have that sound by itself. Maybe that's all you want. So that's another cool tip that I suggest you check out, is to check the layers that are actually running. Maybe you just need to adjust the volume. Maybe you like the zippery sound, but you don't like it so loud. So that's one thing I would suggest. Last but not least, let's get into this Serum preset. Serum is a great synth, and one of the things that's going on here, it's a cool sound, it's a pluck, but it's not really plucky. It's got a lot, it's got the sustain here. I can make it more plucky like that, but that's not what I was going to show you. What I was going to show you was actually in the modulation section. So here in the mod matrix, this is getting a little bit more advanced, but you might check the modulation matrix of the synths if it has one and see where things are routed. It could also help you learn a little bit more about these synths. But to give this thing a little more movement, you might just throw an LFO on something. So for example, I'm gonna put an LFO on the filter cutoff, and that's basically here. So now that I've done it, but I did it through the mod matrix, because the matrix is showing me what's going on, and now I've added a little bit of movement to this thing. So here's another way to do it. And if I wanted to bypass that one, I can, or I could put it on the mod wheel. I could do lots of different things. But the point is, let's remove all the destinations and let's do it this way so you can see this as well. This is the standard way of doing it. So adding movement to your sound can really help. It can diversify it. It can keep the listener interested. It's something that you might want to check out because the sound might be perfect, but it's just a little stagnant in your mix. So adding an LFO, which stands for low frequency oscillator, to some of the parameters might just help. Let's try to put this on, I don't know, let's make this second layer here. Spread this with a little unison, and then maybe we put it on the detune. So we went, if I bypass this, from that to that. And maybe I play with the rate. Now I've got something totally different from before, and just with a few moves, you can take these presets and do something pretty wild with them. So play around with that. You know, you don't have to take these presets for face value. I highly suggest, if you're not good at synthesis, to use presets and to alter them to your needs. So I hope that helps you out. And that's an overview and some tips and tricks on how to take synth presets and make them sound better and fit better in your mix. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment down below. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and the bell notification will keep you up to date. Once again, my name is Freddie from Distinct Mastering, and have a great day.